Hey guys, it's me, Logan, for Anime Anatomy, and today we are here with Kayla,
Hi guys.
and we're gonna just be talking through a couple of series that we're watching, a couple of series that we think are really good. So, Kayla, what did you bring?
I recently watched The Ancient Magnus Bride on VRV, which is by Crunchyroll.
Yeah, could you explain that a bit more?
Yeah, so The Ancient Magnus Bride is um it's an anime series about a girl who gets bought by a Magnus, which is pretty much wizard, I think. They do magic and a bunch of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes her on as kind of like an apprentice. But in this world, there's also wizards too. And uh, in the beginning half, wizards are not friends of Magnus. Like, Magnus have been around for like 600 plus years. So he's an old dude.
And how old is the girl that he bought?
17.
Okay, perfect. Normal. That's completely normal.
I think she's 17. She's 16, 17. It says her age in it. I can't remember exactly because I don't remember numbers at all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he like buys her. She pretty much sold herself because she has certain powers that make it hard for her to live in general. So she kind of just sold herself because she's lived through life, and life has been really hard.
Yeah, that whole 17 years, real tough, real tough.
Real tough. Her mom and dad both could. They both had the same power she did, and it tore her whole family apart pretty much. So I don't want to say anything because you gotta watch it. I'm not gonna say much, but it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much her journey with. His name is Elise. I think it's Elise. No, Elias. His name is Elias.
Okay.
And Elias is the Magnus. So it's their journey together. And the season 2 does not have a release date. So I'm just sitting patiently waiting.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
But it's really good though.
Yeah.
It's a tearjerker though. Sometimes it'll make you feel like you're gonna cry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think from an artwork standpoint of it? Do you
Artwork's
think it's good? Do you think it's shoddy at times?
No. The artwork in this whole anime it's unbelievable. Because throughout the entire thing, it's not half-assed.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing is just, it's like heart and soul in this whole anime. And if you just, I showed you the cover art a little bit ago, and you could tell just from like the cover art.
Yeah.
But cover arts are always selling points. That's why they always like amp them up.
Yeah.
But that's how it is throughout the whole anime. It's just amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's a magical world, so I'm like, they get to have fun with it. Like, even in the room, in most animes, they kind of like butcher the bedrooms of the characters. They don't do much with them.
Yeah.
And the bedrooms in this anime, though, they kind of like add small details and yeah, like if she's working on something, you'll see that she's working on something in her room.
Yeah.
Versus just like having a totally clean desk and like a piece of paper and pens. Yeah. That's normally how they are.
Yeah. I get what you mean. Everything is very clean and no personality.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is nope. She's doing something.
Nope, yeah, exactly. Like, this is the character. You have to deal with it.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you, Schwanke?
So I'm right now really on the My Hero Academia kick, which they're in their middle of their 4th season. They just swapped over their arcs. So when this comes out, what do you think? Friday, Saturday?
I don't remember.
I think we release on Friday. So it'll be like the next episode in their new arc of their 4th season, so the midway point where now it looks like it's focusing on them helping raise children. Which it's kind of weird, but the first half of the 4th season is a definite watch just from the standpoint of what takes place, what we see in our main character and the protagonist, and the growth that we see in him. and also just what we see out of other characters, that there are times where we have questions about, like, how could they actually be useful, how could they fight, or what does them fighting look like. Like, we definitely see more of Uraka. She's fighting more. We see more. Yeah. We see Froppy fighting in there more, and there are other characters like Lemillion who we see fighting, who is absolutely just awesome. He's a fun character to watch. But we also get to know more about, like, Sir Night Eye, who used to be, like, All Might's sidekick. So, I'm sure you don't really know much. Bless you.
Sorry.
I'm sure you really don't know the characters, but Sir Night Eye used to be All Might's sidekick, but he has, like, this foresight.
Okay.
That lets him see into other people's future for, like, an hour. And there's a certain cooldown time period about it. But, like, he helped All Might, the no secret, the guy that passed on. One for all down to Deku, the main character. He's the number one hero. He passed down his power. It's no secret now. You need to go watch the series. It's in the first episode.
Okay.
Okay. It's not really a big secret to the audience, but to everybody else, it's a big secret. So he was All Might's sidekick, and he actually helped All Might fight, and he knows how to use predictive manner based on, if he's able to touch his opponent and he hasn't used his ability, he can see what they're going to do, what the future holds, and how the fight's going to turn out. So he knows how to be predictive. And that's something we see him actually do a really good job of passing down to Lemillion, who is not an intern, but a work-study student at his agency, where Deku also becomes a work-study agent. But, in bigger news, kind of, what I'm excited for is that they actually have another movie that released December 20 in Japan. And it grossed 1.1 billion yen, which in America's movie terms is $10 million. Which it ain't a groundbreaker. It isn't, like, huge, but in Japan it's big. To make 1.1 billion in Japan alone it's not exactly a small number. It points to the movie that's going to come out on December 20, which is actually their second, or that came out on December 20 is actually a pretty good one, with release dates coming on February 26 here in North America. So I'm excited to go see that one. I might try to find one. But it is also their second movie, so you need to go over and watch Two Heroes.
Homework to do.
You need to go watch Two Heroes before, so you get an understanding. Two Heroes, from a technical aspect, isn't necessarily a well-rounded movie. The writing can be a bit shoddy. The animations are good for the most part. But when you're not allowed to when you're allowed only to reinforce characters and not build them, it does kind of limit how you can write for certain characters, because it's a lot of the main characters that are in it, from Todoroki, Iliad, Uraka, and Deku, and Kachan. So you're not really able to build characters in it, because not everybody's going to go and see the movie, so you can't put in major plot points.
Okay.
But you basically got to make a movie where if people don't see it, they don't miss anything. And because of that, the writing, especially with My Hero Academia, because of how much emotion is behind the words in the anime and in the manga, limits the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So you get why the writing's bad there, but the action sequences in it are just absolutely phenomenal. I love the movie. Personally, I've seen it 7-8 times. Thank you, motorcycle.
Jeez.
But yeah, I love the movie, and I can't wait for the second one to come out. Two Heroes is the one that's already released. You can buy it on Amazon. You can watch it on Hulu. And then Heroes Rising is actually going to be, I think it's more Kachan and Deku, like their storyline together, them fighting together based on just what I've seen from it. Whereas Two Heroes was like the group of 5 or 6 working in a team.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
It does sound like a lot of fun seeing those two work together before they could not stay in the same room. So, anyways.
I have a couple movies that I am really looking forward to as well that are coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, anime movies. There's one I just recently watched the trailer for. And it's called Tokyo Godfathers. Did you watch that?
I haven't seen it, no.
The trailer for it? No?
No.
Well, it looks hilarious. It's pretty much about this, like, family who are homeless and living on the streets, and they come across a baby.
Oh, I guess we're parents now. Okay.
Yeah, well, from, like, the looks of the trailer and stuff, that's literally what they do. I'm like...
Oh, but I guess this is mine now.
Yeah, and it just looks like a bunch of, like, silly, crazy chaos that just happens, and I'm looking forward to it. I really want to see it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't come out until March, though. March 9th. And 11th. It doesn't... I don't know our exact dates for our theater, but that's just, like, the general release they have on it. And then they also... just had a movie in our theaters called Weathering With You.
Okay.
I kind of posted about that a little bit because I'm trying to get people's opinion on it because it looks really good.
Yeah.
And I want to see it, but it was only released in our theater for like one day.
Yeah, which tends to be how a lot of them go.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks so bad.
I think Two Heroes back in like November or December got 2 days in Sioux City, so...
In Sioux City?
Yeah.
Dang. But I definitely want to see Weathering With You.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. I did just watch another anime movie.
It's like it's all she watches.
I watched A Silent Voice.
A Silent Voice?
A Silent Voice, yeah.
Okay.
This movie, honestly, the artwork was really good. It's literally just about, like, high school life.
Okay.
Pretty much. It's high school life, but then there's, like, a plot twist, and it's about not being wanted, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And, a silent voice. Right in the title, it tells you this kid is by himself. Like, there's no one else for him.
Yeah.
And throughout this whole movie and stuff like that, he's kind of like the kid of, like, leave me alone, and I just want to be by myself.
Yeah, like how kids can be sometimes.
Yeah, but then he learns, like, friendship and love, and towards the end, it, like, makes you... I started crying, I'm going to be honest. Just because it hits on some really powerful points of, like, suicide, and... Yeah, so it's a pretty intense movie. It's not a little movie.
I believe you. No, I kind of want to go back to that one. Did you see anything more? What is it? Tokyo one?
The Tokyo Godfather?
Yeah.
For, like, what?
Just, like, in storyline in general, like...
I'll pull up exactly what.
Because that's just, like, an interesting story. Oh, we found this baby on the street. We're going to raise it. Okay, what are we going to teach it to do? I don't know. I was thinking we use it as a beggar chip, but...
Okay. I do have it pulled up right here. Okay. I'm just going to read the plot to you. And then you have to go watch the trailer, though.
Okay. I will.
It is one Christmas Eve, 3 homeless people, a middle-aged alcoholic named Jin, a former drag queen named Hana, and a dependent runaway girl named Miyuki discover an abandoned newborn while searching through the garbage. Deposited with the unnamed baby is a note asking the finder to take good care of her and a bag containing clues to the parent's identity. The trio sets out to find the baby's parents. The baby is named Kyoko, based on the Japanese translation of Silent Night, literally meaning pure child. As she is found on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, hold up. They found the baby in the trash, but the note said, "Take good care of the baby."
Yeah.
I've already seen a conflict.
All that comes to my mind is Family Guy and Prom Night Dumpster Baby. Sorry, that's not anime, but that's all that comes to mind.
It's an animation show, though.
True.
There's that.
Yeah, I guess that counts. That definitely counts.
I like the thought, though. You find a baby in the trash, and it says, "Take good care of the baby." First thing you do is, I gotta go find the parents.
Yeah.
They're leaving conflicting remarks with the placement of the child, and now you're going to go find them. Clearly, they're not very nice people.
Well, they just left clues to it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have to go watch the movie to find out what happens.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, part 2. Not till March.
Not till March. A while. Well, February's a short month. But
Hopefully.
Yeah. So I kind of really want to talk about a couple of the things that are in this that I've talked about, like, more in depth, because to an extent, to stay spoiler free doesn't do them justice. So I'm suggesting we go spoiler filled.
Okay.
For the show you seen and the movie you've seen, and then my shows and movies.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start.
Sure. Attention! Spoiler alert.
This is.
If you don't want to listen, stop now.
So this will be the second half, and it's all spoiler filled. We're pretty much just explaining what we love about it. Okay?
We get a fangirl.
Yay! That was not her.
Logan's secret identity.
How's it going, guys? I really don't talk like that. Anyways, so My Hero Academia Season 4 has been... The first arc of it has been dealing with the Hisaki, I want to say is what they're called. And let me get some... just the finer points of it pulled up here. But, so basically... Deku goes and joins Sir Night Eye's agency, and through that he ends up going on patrol with Laymilia, which is what heroes should do. So it's basically like cops going on patrol.
Oh, snap.
They're there to assert force to prevent violence. But so they're fighting this... I'm just going to refer to him as Overhaul because that's who the main bad guy is. That's the guy who was like, you look at it at the beginning and you're going, how are they going to beat him? This doesn't make sense because Overhaul's quirk is how they call it, is he can rearrange living beings if he touches them with his hands. The first time we see him use his quirk, he takes a League of Villains guy and literally explodes the upper half of his body.
Oh.
So it makes you wonder, how could you fight that guy?
He has a boo-boo.
You would touch him, you go boom, right?
Big boo-boo.
But so the first half of it deals with that, the League of Villains coming into contact with Overhaul's group. And then also... Deku and Laymilia, while they're out on patrol, make contact with Overhaul himself. And he's with... I gotta find her name. Because this is a big one.
It's not a common name.
Eri is the name. I just remembered that. So don't... If I'm like off by a letter, don't chew me out. But I'm pretty sure it's Eri. So they run into Overhaul and Eri. Eri's running towards them while they're walking past an alley, and she's trying to go away from Overhaul. And Deku can feel that Eri doesn't want to leave, but Lemillion is standing next to him going, you need to let her go back with Overhaul, otherwise we're both about to die. Which in reality, Lemillion is the perfect counter to Overhaul in the sense that he has permutation, so things pass through him.
Oh.
So like he can make it where he's there, but he's not really there.
Okay.
So he's in essence, the perfect counter to Overhaul's fighting ability. Because Overhaul can't touch him. Overhaul can't hit him with any of his attacks where he manipulates like the ground matter and starts sending out spikes. But they're working on a special thing because of Ares' quirk, which is rewind. What she does is she rewinds human beings. So like Deku makes great use of it. Deku's power explodes his body when he uses it at 100%. He makes great use of it. Really got to go see that episode.
No kidding.
Yeah. Episode 76 is the one you have to watch. It's the 13th one in the season.
Okay.
Because of what Deku does. That one I'm not going to really explain past that. She can rewind people and Deku uses it. But she's able to rewind people to the extent where they de-evolve.
Okay.
So she was basically given up as an orphan because her father was holding her one day when her quirk manifested, and all of a sudden her father was gone because he de-evolved down to a cell.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's a bit of an issue if you don't control it. But through this whole fighting sequence where they meet her, and then all of a sudden you have all these hero agencies coming together going, we had to fight him. And the weird thing is they all have their work study students with them, which just so happen to be the main characters of My Hero Academia from Class 1A, and then also the Big Three, which they introduced at the end of Season 3. Happens to be all of those kids, right? Like the whole 5 from 1A, and then the Big Three. It includes all of them. Surprise, surprise. But it's weird how things work out like that.
Very suspicious.
Kind of like Ash is at the middle of everything in Pokemon. But
what?
I know, it's weird, right? But with them going to fight, they wind up helping. They got probably 150 cops there. It's a lot of cops, and then you have 30, 40 pro heroes there, including the students. Like, this is so important. They pulled a hero that's a teacher into this.
Jeez.
They pulled an old man into it. We need this dude with jets on his feet to go fight. Okay. We don't.
I guess if it's needed.
Okay. This is a bigger force than what they used to go save a student, but okay.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, whatever floats your boat. But Eraserhead is there, and he would be another one that would be a perfect counter to Overhaul because Overhaul couldn't hurt anybody while Eraserhead is there. While he's looking at people, he erases their quirks. I also have to explain this a bit to Kayla, so she's not just like, what are you talking about? Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Can you describe Eraserhead? Because I have some images in my head, and I don't know if they're quite accurate.
He's black, long hair, scruffy. Does that fit? Well, he's not. He's white in anime terms, but he has long black hair, and he's scruffy in the face, and he looks like he just wants to crawl into bed.
So he doesn't look like an eraser?
No.
No. I thought he looked like a pencil topper. That's what came to my mind as a pencil topper. As a head on a body.
They haven't evolved that far. You only have walking orcas and concrete monsters, but no.
Only those?
One dude looks like a frog, another one looks like a seal. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But so Eraserhead can erase quirks. That's how he gets his name. So when he looks at people, they don't have their quirk. Well, he's both a good counter to Overhaul, but at the same time, Overhaul's organization is looking at him going, we kind of want ya.
Oh, no.
Because they are experimenting, and they're experimenting on Ares' quirk, where they want to make it where they have like bullets that can rewind people back to before humanity had their quirks.
Oh.
And right now, because I'm not a manga reader, with how it's finished up, with how that arc finished up, Lemillion had to give up his quirk in order to protect Aerie.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It sounds like we got a lot of noise in the background. But, yeah, so there's that. You just gotta go watch season 4 because what I said in there's still, I maybe hit a fifth of it. But yeah, go watch season 4. It's out now. If you haven't caught up to it all, catch up to it all because it is all definitely worth it. Anyways, so the one you were talking about?
The Ancient Magnus Bride.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna start by reading Wiki's plot.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna fangirl over everything I absolutely love in this whole entire season. Sound okay? You ready for the ride?
Yep, sounds okay.
Okay, Wiki says, the Ancient Magnus Bride is about having been ostracized by both her relative and partially by society, orphan high school student Chise Hitori decides to sell herself at an auction in order for somebody else to take her and have a new place to call home.
Mm-hmm.
At the auction in London, she is sold for £5 million to Elias.
She's not a cheap one.
No. And she doesn't know why in the first part. She doesn't understand why. Like, why would you spend so much on me? She, like, I'm just an ordinary, human. Like, why? And yes, it does take place in England.
Yeah.
So, the auction's in London, and they kind of go back to London here and there. Like, London's, like, the main town for, like, their shopping and their outfitter. They have a certain person that can make certain items for her to help her.
Okay.
Which I'll get there. I'm going to keep reading this plot, though, so...
Okay. Okay, I get it.
Okay, I understand. Okay,
Okay.
cool. So £5 million to Elias, who is a 7-foot tall humanoid with an animal skull as a head. This Magnus, who seems closer to a demon than human, either brings her the light she desperately seeks or drowns her ever deeper shadows in the new country of Britain. So as they say, she deals with the good and the bad with Elias. Her first day with Elias, he's explaining to her that you're going to be my apprentice, and she's like, okay, cool, whatever, apprentice. And then she learns to find out the apprentice actually means that I'm going to marry you. You're going to be my bride. So a thing to know about Chise is that she can see things that are not there.
Okay.
So that's why, for £5 million, £5 million. That's why she was so expensive, is because she can see the things that not everybody could see. Elias can see those things because he's an Magnus. Like, he's ancient magic. Like, ancient, before wizards and all that crap.
Well, he does have an animal skull for a head.
Yeah, and it's not just any animal skull. It's like a bull, and then has, like, sheep horns. And he just looks BA in general. But it's funny, because during this anime sometimes, where he has, like, interactions with Chise, where he's, like, just dumbfounded, they make his head look like a dog. It's just, like, all of a sudden, no emotion, no definition, just, like, a square with 2 black eyes, and I'm just like, this is hilarious. Because Chise is just, like, this, she's much younger, and, like, Elias is like, what the heck? Like, how do I even deal with this? Yeah. But, so, in their journeys and stuff like that, they come across several different characters. The first one they come across is she calls them fairies. Okay. But Elias explains that they're not good and they're not bad.
So they're neutral.
Yeah, they're kind of neutral, just because of the fact that, like, they they want her, but they can't have her because they know it's Elias's, his bride. Yeah. And Elias is really powerful and strong. And then they know not to mess with him, pretty much.
He's scary.
Yeah, and his familiar, which I think, are you familiar with what familiars are? Just in general, like in a magic world. Familiars are kind of...
Not really, but
They're like the, like sidekick pet kind of thing.
Okay.
Where it's like, these pets, like, have powers too. Yep. And they can help assist with certain things, but they only trust their owner. They don't like to assist with other people.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, Chise has a familiar. Hers is Ruth. Hers is not a fairy, though.
Yep.
Ruth is... You get a backstory on Ruth, too. Ruth actually used to be a dog who lost his owner because his owner got chased into a street by some kids and was hit by a carriage. Yeah. So he lost his owner and was like very sad about that, and then ended up passing, but then he took on a form of a boy, but is also a like six-tailed dog. Okay. No, not six-tailed. One-tailed dog, but it's like a huge tail, and he's all black. He's like spooky looking.
Okay. Yeah, that does sound a little spooky.
And you remember how I was telling you about that, the lady who makes the outfits? If you vaguely remember that. Yeah. So, Elias has a really old friend, not really old friend, but she's also a Magnus as well. She creates the different outfits for Chise and Elias. So with Chise and her powers and stuff like that, her powers like have no limit. She can see things that are not there, but she can also talk to them. They could talk back to her. They can communicate. She can, as she's learning to be a Magnus, she's also using her like power of speaking to things that aren't there. As she's being a Magnus, and like the Magnus is using spells, so she needs to gain some control over it, because as she's using her power, she starts to lose a little bit of herself as well. Yeah. And she soon finds out that she doesn't have much time to live. Like, people with her ability, they die very young. Okay. So Elias and her are trying to like figure out the different ways to help cope with this. And Angelica is the one that creates like the outfits and helps Chise with her like first spell. Okay. Like first time she ever figured out anything, and that was turning like a crystal into a flower. Instead of just turning one single crystal into a flower, Chise turns the entire room into like a crap ton of like crystal flowers absolutely everywhere, because she can't control her power yet. She doesn't know how to. So when I say she puts everything into it, she really does.
There's no stopping.
There's no stopping her. She has an exact name for what her power is, but I cannot remember what it's called. But a little backstory on Chise is, Chise, when I was telling you she dealt with some really dark stuff, is her mom committed suicide right in front of her. Okay. Because her mom couldn't handle seeing the things that weren't there. Yeah. Like, her mom could see it too, and they kept trying to harm Chise. And her mom blamed herself, so she threw herself off of a balcony. Yeah. Before that, her father left because her mom was kind of going haywire, and then he also wanted to protect Chise's brother. Chise has a brother. Okay. And so the dad took the little kid with him, and they just left one night.
She's gonna go crazy. We're just gonna get on out of here.
Yeah. Okay. Chise is called a sleigh baggie.
A sleigh baggie?
Sleigh baggie. That's what she's called. It took me a little bit to find it. She can draw in magic from things that are around her. Yep. So it takes a huge toll on her. Yeah. And so in their journeys and stuff like that, they meet Ruth, and then they also meet Let me see who is. Okay. I think this is it. I'm just gonna call him by Lindell. If I'm wrong, go ahead and correct me. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
He is Elias's trainer. He trained Elias because when Elias arrived on this planet, Elias wasn't born. He was just dropped. He just woke up one morning in existence and knew how to talk, knew how to walk. He was already, in the form he is. And Lindell took him in and pretty much showed him how to be a Magnus. But Lindell is the protector of the dragons and the dragon world. So there's an entire part of Chisei goes to the dragon world and meets them because I guess there's dragon poachers that have been coming and stealing them, and so Chisei goes with Elias. They meet his owner, and not in a good way. Chisei gets kidnapped by a dragon, and Lindell, and taken to the dragon world, and eventually Elias arrives because Elias hides in Chisei's shadows. Because he's a dark world, like Magnus. So
Yeah.
he's a shadow, pretty much. So he hides in the shadows and stuff like that. So he hid in Chisei's shadow as she's meeting Lindell and all his dragons and stuff like that. So it was a pretty awesome dragon flying scene there. And yeah, so you start to learn these characters and they all start to help each other out, and then you meet a wizard, which I can't remember what his name is. I don't remember what his name is. Shoot. Okay, actually I do. His name is Michael. Michael. Super generic.
Super.
So there's Michael and Alice. Alice is his apprentice, and Michael is a wizard or warlock who lost his arm because of this psycho freaking... I don't even know what this thing is.
Okay.
But the psycho thing's name is Cataphilus. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly because it's something very weird. But he, reanimates things.
Okay.
Dead bodies, reanimates them for his own being. He experiments. Well, he was the poacher that was taking the dragons and using them for bad things. I don't want to say too much on him because he's a main part of the anime where it's he comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But he also makes it super awesome.
Yeah.
He's a needed character to make this anime amazing. So I don't want to talk too much about him. But then Michael and Alice are kind of forced.
Yeah.
To do some bad things to Elias because of Cataphilus. So, yeah, that's them. And then there's also Simon, who is a priest at a church, who doesn't necessarily support Elias, but they use Elias's healing. Elias makes different remedies and potions and stuff like that to cure illness and all this stuff.
Makes perfect sense.
I just pretty much went over the entire season 1. My favorite part about this whole entire season in general is the artwork that comes into play and stuff like that. It's literally what just pops right out of their mind, and they just go, just put it right in the anime. Here you go.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. There's tons of colors used. A lot of emotion. The voiceovers were really good too.
Yeah. Now, are you watching sub version?
No.
No?
No. Well, subtitled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched the subtitle version.
Okay.
So the voices are really good. Kind of match along with what you think the characters' voices would go with.
Yeah. Which sub tends to be better with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Dubbed is okay. Sometimes dubbed, I feel it doesn't really... They're not emotional with the character. They're just kind of a voice.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Because I hate that.
Come on, the American actors have to do better. Come on.
Yeah, for real though.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Ancient Magnus Bride. I can also kind of go over a silent voice too, since you said I could do spoilers if you want me to.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
I'm interested to know more about that.
You want to learn more about that one?
Yeah.
So, a silent voice is, I'll read you the plot. Japanese teenager Sohoi, I cannot pronounce his last name, I am so sorry. I think it's Ishida, intends to commit suicide. Changing his mind at the last minute, he recalls his days in elementary school and the events that have led him here. A new student named Shoko Nishiyama informs the class that she is deaf. She tries to integrate with the class, but ends up annoying Shoya and his friends, so they start to bully her. When word of the bullying reaches the principal, Shoya is singled out as the culprit. Soon the class bullying is directed towards him, subjecting him to the same treatment he gave Shoko. Shoya blames Shoko, and the two get into a physical altercation. She is subsequently transferred to another school. He later finds Shoko's notebook, which she left behind, and keeps it. Now in high school, Shoya is a social reject. He blocks out the faces of those around him, unable to look them in the eye. Tomohiro, I'm not going to try. I am so bad. I'm so sorry. I promise to get better with this. Mm-hmm. Another loner befriends Shoya after Shoya helps him with a bully. Shoya visits the sign language center, returns Shoka's notebook to her in hopes of making amends, and reveals that he learned sign language to be able to talk to her.
Well, that's kind.
You know, it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
The two begin meeting at at a specific bridge. This bridge in this movie is kind of like a significant piece.
Yeah.
To feed bread to koi fish.
Yeah, I got that.
One day, Shoya and Soko accidentally drop Soko's notebook into a river, and they jump into it to retrieve it, which is prohibited. Yeah. Yuzuri, Soko's younger sister, secretly takes a photo of Shoya jumping in and posts it online. Shoya is suspended for that. Bum bum bum.
Dude.
Shoya finds Yuzuri, who ran away from home, and brings her to stay at his house. When she leaves in the middle of the night, Shoya follows and tells her that he is remorseful for the way he treated Soko. She decides to go home. The sister's mother, Yukio Nimashimiya, slaps Shoya in the face before bringing Yuzuri outside. Yeah, this kind of just keeps going on about, like, everything that happens in the movie, and I don't really want to read all of it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you get the premise of it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Shoya bullied a girl in school, and then grew up and realized, how crappy that was of him, and felt bad and remorseful for it, and was going to kill himself, but then decided not to kill himself. And later in the movie, you realize that the girl he bullied, Shoko, was going to kill herself too. And Shoya actually saves her.
Huh.
She goes to, I don't know what's with animes and jumping off of balconies, but she goes to jump off a balcony.
It's dramatic.
I know, but I'm like, the anime I watched too, mom jumped off a balcony.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he catches her.
Yeah.
And not like at the bottom, he like grabs her hand, I think, in time.
So there's always a purpose why you shouldn't.
Yeah, I think that's how it ends.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Anyway, should we wrap it up? We've been going for a while now.
We can. Yeah.
Anyways. So
go for it.
we did it a bit different than we had the past couple of episodes from a year ago. That was just, it keeps us more energized in what we like. And it allows for broadened spectrum. Let us know if you like it more, because we're both coming from two very different genres in anime. I am much more action-based, and Kayla's much more romantic-based.
Romantic and or like life lesson.
Yep.
I like those a lot. It's hard for me. I don't mind action. It's hard for me to watch it if it has like a lot of seasons to it because I'm like, I feel like I'm watching the same thing.
Yeah.
But people who really enjoy action, I'm like, it's totally your thing. I'm like, it probably feels the same way for like my anime. It's like kind of the same thing happens all over again.
600-year-old being married a 17-year-old. Okay. Yep,
no,
okay.
you have to watch that one. It was so good.
It makes more sense. He's immortal. It's really not that bad.
No, and it's not because it's not like there's romance.
Yeah.
Like necessarily romance. I mean, they do hug, but oh no, hug.
Real Nickelodeon stuff right there. Anyways, but yeah, so we're gonna try this format out where we bring one thing, whether it's something that's coming up on a new season, new movie. I'm sure you've seen our Instagram page at @anime and @anatomy_batlock605. Go follow us there. We'll be posting a lot of stuff that catches our eye there. And yeah, we'll keep on updating that. And also be sure to share this podcast on any platform that we are on. We're on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, and YouTube. Be sure to share it. If you like it, share it with your friends. That's honestly what we're asking. It'll help us grow. I hope it brings joy to your day. I hope we're
funny enough.
I hope we introduce you to new things that you might not see. I know My Hero Academia is up there for being known and popular, but there are other shows that we watch that are...
They're not popular.
They're a bit more obscure, but they are really good and they deserve it. Like Demon Slayer has been really popular. Overlord, I've been into that. That's actually really good. So, yep.
I started, what was it called? The Dead High School? Or High School of the Dead. That's not really popular, but that one's freaking bad, eh?
Yep.
And that's an action. That's not a romance. That's an action one, guys. I'm watching an action. Oh my gosh. It's really gory and there's some nudity too. But it's like a rated R anime. But we're not going to talk about it. We won't talk about that in this one. I haven't finished it, so I can't.
All right. Anyways, that'll do it, guys. We hope to see you next time.
And don't forget to leave recommendations in the comments too for like animes you want us to watch or talk about. Oh, yeah. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.